c'est good thing.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Very, very special episode of Chart Talk. Just me out here today. Bennett's down at the Jersey Shore. We tried to film it. We had some horrible technical difficulties. His computer is fucked up. So, I'm gonna run through it today. It'll be a little bit different, but I got you. I'll put the team on my back real quick. All right, without further ado, let's jump in, market outlook. All right, here we go, market outlook. So we have the S&P finally ticking new all-time highs. Incredible run from lows. When we're just kind of in this uptrend still. NASDAQ still leads the way, getting very parabolic at this point. The one thing that worries about me about the market right now is the complacency of bulls. I was talking about over the weekend in the shakedown how we're at record lows or decade lows and people short the market right now. So that's generally when you do start to see the selling, when no one's short, that's when they pull the rug. But you can't really time those things like that. And we're just grinding higher. You saw the first pullback we had 4 days ago, the gap down, we just got bought up and we just had 4 straight up days coming off that. So, the trend is your friend. Keep riding it out. I know Bennett wanted me to point out that the last time we had a kind of a blue sky breakout right here when we broke these highs and then we just kind of floated up. We had this little pullback here and we just floated up to these new record highs. Before, the massive sell-off, that was news related and stuff. But, we could see this type of move out of the market, as we just continue to grind higher. I'm personally not like 100% max risk on right now. I did really well in this part. We got the end of summer coming out, volume's low. So I'm kind of chilling these next 2 weeks, getting my mind right for last quarter. That's generally when I make the most money. So I want to have all the mental capital possible there. Some market news, changes to the Dow Jones. So we got, Dow 30, price weighted index, doesn't really matter much to me, but Exxon, you're out. Pfizer, you're out. Raytheon, you're out. Okay?
Grocery!
I caught it. You're out.
But I ticked it. It hit the bat.
You're still out.
You're still fat. I ticked it.
Salesforce, you're in. They're making a shift towards tech. Amgen, you're in. Honeywell, you're in. All right, so with that being said, kind of just stick to the status quo right now for the market. We're just in this vicious uptrend. Let's see what we got. Member ideas, what we look at? ADP. Where's he like this? Through 291. ADP through 291. APD. APD. Okay. This is an okay flag. I'd like to see it drawn out a bit more. Nice little wedging area. You see it. I mean, this market, things are just going so vertical, so it's like a why not situation. But I'd like to see this pattern drawn out a lot more. I'd like to see this 50-day simple moving average catch up. Where we at? Abbott Labs. Yeah, this looks sick. I mean, this is just the market we're in right now, where all these, this is a big, big healthcare name, Abbott Labs, just looking to break highs and going on a feisty run. Why not? We've been seeing it so much. Next is ADC. What is it? REIT ADC through 69. Nice little consolidation. Let's take a peek at the weekly chart. That's some nice consolidation. If it can bust through this area, it looks pretty good. Where are we going from here? Broadcom, AVGO. This name looks like a grinder. It's been on such a run already. I wouldn't expect like a feisty, like 10% break. But, as far as swing trading goes, this is looking to break highs. And, what we've seen all years, these names just break highs and they've been going vertical. So, that's definitely where the money has been. It's BAH. BAH through 88. Nah, Bennett would freak out. This is called a Mickey Mouse flag right here. I do like how it's riding the 8-day simple moving average higher, but I don't really like initiating positions off that. This is the meat of the move. This is trying to be a little greedy, buying through 88. So I'm gonna say no on that one. CHD, Church and Dwight. Is this the earnings flag? So we love these. All right, this is called a power earnings gap right here. Probably talk about it every week. When a stock gaps up on earnings and holds the gap. It looks like it's overbought, but you head over to the weekly chart and it's just this massive flagpole. So we love these kind of setups. If this can bust through these highs, these 97.15 highs, looks pretty good there. XPO, where you like that? Through these highs, I'm guessing. Through these 87.21s, yeah, 87. So yeah, kind of similar setups here. All really breakout setups. That's just kind of how the market's going right now. So there's no problem looking for those setups. Those are the ones that are working. All right, Tom, what are we looking at? Some ALLK through 91. This looks okay. You know, to me, the base level is this resistance area right here. Where are earnings? Okay, this is okay to me. I don't see the massive level. It'd be tough. The one that makes the part about this trade that makes it tough is that you got to have the proper stop in. You can see it's kind of a grinder. It's not really breaking hard out of this base, just kind of grinding higher. So you really want to be, you know, have the proper stop location so you're not shaking out of this one, and you kind of can let it work. And then from there, we're going Hanes brand, huh? Trading undies. Shit. This is earnings. So that was the earnings move. That was the tertiary move. Pretty good. Where's he like at 1626? Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You got to give it to the bottom of this flag here. I don't love this one. I don't love the technical setup here, but you know, it's a name that clearly had a change of composure via earnings. You know, we're seeing this gap up move and then the follow through move, and now they're trying this next little flag. So that one looks okay. I'm not in love with it, but I see what you're looking at. ZBH, Brian Trong, what are we looking at here? Through these 140 halves, 141, 140. Yeah, all right, that makes sense. You know, nice little base. Looks pretty good through this area. Tight risk. I like it. ZTHM, I think he meant ATHM. Yeah, I love this. I've been waiting on this chart for a while. Auto Home, this 92 level. It's definitely not ready yet, but I mean, and this is a Chinese name, and we've just been seeing Chinese names go crazy. Like this Baba, like this YY today. So you know, Chinese names have been really hot. All right, moving on from here. Where are we going? Some social media questions. When would you have one stop during a trade versus having two stops, trailing 2/3 versus trailing 1/3? So for me personally, I like to treat stock in thirds. It just makes it very systematic for me. So for example, I bought Amazon this day and I kicked some into the pop, and I kicked another third like into these all-time highs. I was traveling, so it wasn't like a huge position or anything. But now I have a third remaining. I'm just kind of trailing it, and now I can be really relaxed about that stock. Could I have my full position? Does this look good? Yes, but you know, so many times when these things come back and I don't get those first two kicks off, you know, I'm pretty upset with myself. So I try to keep things as systematic as possible. I treat my positions in thirds generally. That's always been what's easiest for me. Okay, where we go? Social media questions. Harvey says Z. There's no question related to it. He just says Z. So yeah, sure, Zillow. No, I mean, housing prices are going crazy right now. Real estate market's sickly going crazy. I think this one needs some more consolidation. I like this earnings move, and I like how it's trying to take out highs on earnings. But I think it just needs to flag out a little more this way before it makes that next move. RKT is the next one up. IPO rocket in from 1903, stop below low a day, all out at 2605. Okay. Okay, I have no idea what that's in relation to. Good trade. This guy is in from 1903. Yeah, stop below low a day, and he caught this whole fucking move. Sold it to 26. It's beast. I don't know. Oh, was it a gamble? Oh. Well, listen. You bought in the right spot. You bought this 19. Right? You got to stop at lows. In from 1903. All right, so he bought this little area and gave it to, I don't know, these lows. I don't know, maybe your stop location was a little suspect, but I mean, you got the move. I mean, how can you hate on something? You made fucking $7 when you bought it 19. Great trade here. Don't think it's a gamble if you know you're buying off support. You have the stop here, and then you have your targets, and you sold into the pop. So that looks really good. John Ogleturk asking about SFIX 2350. Okay, this one we might have been a little late here, but this looks good. I'll show you why. Boom, boom. Have this little base here, base resistance. Boom, comes down, pivots. Now look, it turns that resistance into support. It keeps moving higher. Very healthy there. All right, where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Good trade, bad trade. Good trade, bad trade. We'll start with Khan. DPZ. All right, nice job, Khan, with this one. So, you know, he bought his first, ended up buying, what, 3 shares? So bought the first third here added on the pivot and then added on the macro break. I like that. The only part I don't like about this trade, let's go, we can see it easier here, DPZ, is that he bought on this day when it doesn't really make sense, this one right here. The stock's just kind of falling. It's not really, I wouldn't say it's against a tight enough support level, really. The support is down here at 376, and he's up here buying 386 as a feeler. When it really didn't tell you to turn it was turning around yet. This was the next day when you added. That was good. That's the day to get involved right here. This day, and then he added for the macro trade. Average price 390, sold into 420. Got the 5%, 5-to-1 risk reward. So that's great. And then he sold the next two. I mean, anytime you can achieve 5-to-1 risk reward, no matter what, it's a good trade to me. No matter what. Well, there are exceptions. All right, I digress. Where are we going? DXCM. See, all right, kind of the same issue for me as the last trade. It's like your first entry, I get it's a feeler, but like what about this candle is really signifying that the lows are in or supports in or anything like that. So I don't like this first buy. I like the second one a lot more because it's against a defined support level versus this one just kind of buying in the middle of a huge range. And then he tried the similar trade where he added through highs here and then he took a loss here lower. So, I mean, what's to learn from this trade is that, you're getting a little greedy. I know it worked out with Domino's where he had the macro add, but a lot of times when I'm doing these support buys, I like to have my whole position as close to support as possible. And then so I don't have to be doing these ads really late. Like this wasn't a good ad. At the time, it probably looked like a good ad. I get that. It's breaking out of resistance, but it didn't follow through. And then now you're taking a loss here. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, waited for stock to close below 50-day SMA to sell. Yeah, so and then all of a sudden you're not really trading at the levels, because you got your average price all fucked up. And it's like, what was significant about this support level when the initial buy was against this support level, and that's the nice level you want to buy against. And then look, the next day, that first support level is holding still, So just a quick lesson there in that one. PGMY. This was sick. I'm still in this one. I love this fucking name now. It's funny how it works. Bought through the breakout. Kick. Ooh, had to stop. So yeah, I pretty much handled this the same way. First third, second third into those pops. But then for my last third, I just kept my original stop because that was the initial game plan you made, to maximize the trade. So I personally took a little bit off on this move, but I still have fifth or so of my position, and I think this still looks pretty good. Holding up, turning this old resistance into new support, and that's what we're seeing there. So yeah, I just think he moved the stop up too quickly for that one. Let's see what we got here. Ambarella buying off support. Oh, fucking beautiful. That's just a beautiful trade. Bought support here against the support level. No moving of the stops. And no adding too high to fuck up the average cost so that you can just sell into this pop. That's a great trade. Great job. Where we at? All right, I gotta check what people are doing here. Where we at? Nike. Nice job, Fabio, with the Ambarella. Brian Chung bought this Nike 98.55. Stop below his pivot. That looks awesome. Yeah, I'm still in this Nike with you, bruh. Looks good. He's still holding his full position, though. I am not. That's beast. That's beast. And here's the thing I've been having a lot of discussions with traders about. It's about finding your time frame specifically, where it's like Brian, he's more of a swing trader. He's not around the computer as much. So it makes sense for him to hold this full position. But now a lot of guys, but in doing so, he's risking giving this trade back. And that's something I'm really active. So in my active account, I'm not willing to do that as much. That's why I take off into the quick pops just to book something. And then I feel more comfortable holding for the long term. But in doing so, I know that, I'm not going to have my full position for these type of trades where it just looks sick the whole way, but I'm also not going to give it back. So that's kind of the balance you have to find. I've just been talking to a lot of people about that lately, finding your time frame and kind of trading accordingly based on that time frame. Where we at? Tom, how we doing, baby? All right, GNRC. So you bought off that support. Love it. Love that support buy. I don't know how you stayed in through this. I don't know. I won't ask questions. So added up here, and then just kept upping your stop, and then held into earnings, and then kept upping the stop. And lots of really high ads. I don't personally love the ads, considering where your core was. You're adding like 50% up. As long as you're treating ads as a different trade. As we saw before, people were adding and then moving up their stop, and then they were getting shaken out of the trade. And if they had never added, they'd probably still be in the trade. It'd be much more successful, blah, blah, blah. So as long as these ads are against, like, you know, these little pivots here or something like that, you're treating it as a different trade. Then I don't mind it. But great job, you know, getting a 20% cushion into earnings. That's how you have the super big winners. And then, you know, look at this thing. Now it's ticking 188, you know, and you have stock from, you know, 115. That's beast. Where we going? Where we going? eBay. So entry here, 43.50. Threw this little flag. You know, up only 10%. Held it into, oh, I don't know what that gap up was, whatever that was. Second stop. Just kept up in the stop as it made pivots. You know, this fourth stop, it's a good stop to protect profits, but understand that you could be shaken out from those levels. Now your current stop, I don't like this ad, personally. You know, after this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green days, 1 day of sideways, and then you want to add to those highs on the 9th day. I don't like that really, but and then you can see you get stopped out. But I do like how you treated it, the new ad, as a different trade. That's good. But this one looks really good, just trending higher at this point. Where are we going? Bennett, we'll skip Bennett. So I haven't been super active. I'll go through what my holdings right now. I'm light in most of these names because, but Facebook, we bought this little base here. This one looks really good. And now they have getting all the news on their side. So what do we love about this? We love the power earnings gap. Gaps up on huge earnings. Turns all-time high resistance into new support and then launches off that. So then we were able to add in this little consolidation. Now look at us, all-time highs. I sold some today. That one looks good. Checkpoint. Shouts out Heaven, baby. This is a friendship trade. He called this one out like here. We were just buying against this 122.50 area. And then this day was just like cataclysmic volume right off the open. He called it out. I think he called it out. Someone called it out again. So I added heavily up this day and then just had my stop at these low pivots. So you see how, you know, I moved my stop up to this area, but it was such a clearly defined pivot. That's the difference versus, you know, just kind of moving my stop up to a random spot. I saw this volume and I saw yesterday's pivot and I felt comfortable enough to add and then move my stop up to this pivot, knowing that if these buyers broke, it would likely flush more. So, you know, there's a reasoning behind that. I said, you know, I'm still in this Amazon. That one looks awesome. Still in this Google slightly, buying in this area, you know, just kind of holding. I'm not heavy in these things, but, you know, just holding that one. Still in this Nike. I do not have my full position. I only have my last like fifth, maybe 1/6 left. Just let it rock. I'm not really over focusing on it. PGMY, I'm in this one. I actually might add now off this new support that it's defining. Inside day support buy setting up, but that one looks really good. In this one lightly, this SPSC, this is one of my favorite names going forward. Do this 80, definitely going to add if it sets up. Very thin name, so it makes it a little tough. And then today I got stopped out of this WSM from, where did we buy it? This 88.50 area. I got stopped out the rest today, like 94 or something like that. And then my two losses that I took is GMAD. It just pushed me out. I bought this day right here, stop at lows, and then I just got pushed out in this area, and it turned around. And you know, my mistake in the trade, maybe not a mistake, you know, is having a hard stop when it's just like an area of buyers, and you see that they came through in the end. But you know, this is a huge gap, and I can't give my stock this entire gap, like waiting for these maybe buyers. So I got pushed out of that one, and the reason we like this one so much is the macro level overhead. They had the big earnings. They made the move towards the level. So if it takes out this, you know, these earnings highs again, it should be off to the races. So I'm hawking this one. This Pinterest got me last week. And why do we like this one so much? We hit up a weekly chart. You know, it's going after this macro IPO high level for the third time on good earnings, on an earnings gap up, holding the base, holding the earnings move. So, you know, all these layers of probability are working in our favor, which is why, you know, this is one of my favorite names out. So this day is when we saw last time we saw the market pull back. This was like exploding through highs, huge volume, looked amazing. We added off this day, and it just turned around, you know, based on market weakness, and that happens. You know, you can't really be mad at that. It's frustrating, of course, but you know, nothing to be too mad at. You know, and I saw Heaven calling out like he's pounding the table on it down here. I didn't buy it back yet. It does look really good at this support level, so I'm definitely going to continue to watch this one. All right, and then where are we going from here? Oh, then we're at top ideas. Look at us moving. So yeah, everyone's been talking about this Microsoft, very obvious level. Market leader, can just continuously in an uptrend. Monthly chart, insanity. So now it's just, and this is a really nice consolidation. So if this one should take out highs, and look, now it's gapping up post-market to 218. They want to take this trade away. Looks pretty good. Guys, stop yawning. Get it together, shake. All right. So I mentioned that Microsoft. This ISRG is just so tight. And the difference between this and like a Mickey Mouse flag is that it's gotten, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of consolidation. That's really nice. And, we like that it's really tight because buyers are supporting it. Buyers are supporting it at higher and higher prices. So now, as long as if it can make a move above this 702 area, 704, technically we should start to see this buying, this type of buying again. That's what we'd be looking for. ISRG. I mentioned this SPSC already. Nice move on earnings. All right, I'm back. Sorry. All right, and then just kind of flagging in front of this 80, but this is more of a swing trade because the name's so thin. And last but not least, this is DAVA, DAVA from our little growth list. We're not going to talk too much about it, our sneaky growth list. But this one's setting up through 56 area. Looks great. Okay. So with that being said, let's go to book of the week. Hey Bennett, what are you looking at? Book of the week, all of me this week. So I'm reading this John Wooden book. John Wooden is known as the greatest college basketball coach of all time. In the 70s, a lifetime of observations and reflections on and off the court. Talks about basketball, talks about marriage, life, Socrates. He talks about it all here. It's a really, really good book. John Wooden, very quick read. Highly recommend this one. That's it, folks.